Ya listo.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another webinar from EPCOM. This is going to be with our E-Series line. Today, we're going to be talking about the LPR camera. We currently have two of them on this line, one with a 8 to 12 millimeter lens and the other one with a 12 to 32. So one has more zoom than the other. And we also have one in full color. You'll see the specs about them all later, once we go to the description of the camera. I just want to take this time to thank you all for coming to this webinar again. My name is Roberto Jauregui. I'm a technician engineer here in the Miami branch. We currently have four branches in total. We have one here in Miami. We have one in Orlando, Florida. We have one in San Antonio, Texas, and the other one, as you may all know, is in El Paso, which is the headquarters. So beginning with this, as you may all are familiar with the E-Series line, this is a newish brand, newish line that we have for CCTV products, and we're continuing to improve this line. So feedback is very, very important from you installers. Or you guys are basically our partners in this. So any feedback that you can give us in the chat is very welcoming. Any questions that you have during the technical aspect of this webinar, feel free to email me. I'll put my email at the end of the webinar if you have any questions or a project that you may need help with. Me or any of our tech support teams will help you. Even the project manager as well, they can help you as well. Michael is the project manager of A-Series, so he can also help you out with any projects that you guys have or any questions, as can I. So without further ado, let's start the webinar. So this webinar is mainly going to be focused on the technical aspect of the LPR camera. So it's basically going over, right now we're going to go over the basics of the camera, how the LPR function works, the technology of the LPR. And then later on, we're going to go through a few, we're going to say not recommended setups or configurations, because all the scenarios that you are going to be installing the LPR will be different. But just to give you a rough idea of what a typical configuration of the LPR camera would look like. So just to give you a little background of the LPR function or the LPR camera, um, ANPR basically stands for automatic number plate recognition, and it allows for the detection and identification of a vehicle's license plate number, which is actually a really important piece of data for searching for a particular event. So if a car escapes or let's say you're in a condo or a community, a gated community, and someone rams through the gate and let's say you know the first three letters or numbers of the license plate. You can go to your NVR and look up those three letters or numbers, and it'll give you exactly all of the license plates that have occurred throughout the day or throughout that time. And so it just makes it a lot easier for catching people like that or searching for a specific type of event. So the key technology here, it goes through different procedures. So at first, it goes through the detection, which here you're detecting the license plate itself on the front of this Ford vehicle right here on the bottom. And then it goes through a identification. It's saying, oh, hey, look, this is a license plate. And then it goes to a capture. It's going to capture the numbers on that license plate. And then it's going to give you a result. The result being the day, the time, the license plate number, and letters. and whether the license plate is on your allow list or block list, or if it's a visitor, or if it's a stranger. It'll tell you all that information. So just the content that we're going to be going through, I'm going to do this very quickly because later on, like I said, this is a more technical uh, webinar. So what we're going to be doing after this PowerPoint is I'm going to be going into the IP of a LPR that I have here right beside me and showing you some of the settings that are important to the installation. But so far, these are the supported countries and states in Europe. If you want to take a screenshot of this so you know what countries are supported by this camera and by this function that we are currently providing to you all. We have Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, North America, and Latin America. So the applicable scenarios that you can put a LPR in is a barrier control, which is the most common use of LPR. Oh, that and traffic surveillance. Vehicle management, you can also use a LPR for vehicle management. So let's say you want to count how many cars are on the lot, or you want to specify a certain vehicle, or you just want to manage all the cars in the lot, in the parking lot. You can do that as well. And you can also use it for investigation. As I said earlier, you can search up the license plate number and it'll give you the exact day, time, when the car passed. If it passed multiple times, it'll give you that as well. And these are the not applicable scenarios. So a shared entrance and exit, that's no. You can't do that. The reason why you can't do that is because when a car comes into a stop at the barrier, yes, the LPR on the entrance will scan the LPR and it'll give you access to the barrier. That is going to work completely fine. But at the same time, it's going to keep it open because the one on the exit is going to keep the barrier open. Also, it's the shared entrance and exit is also just not good either because it's going to create a lot of impedance in traffic as well. A car is going to come out and then one needs to come in, and it's just going to create a problem. What you should do is have independent entrance and exits. So an LPR for an entrance and an LPR for an exit. In this way, you can name these LPRs, entrance and exit, and it'll give you the day and time of if the car entered the property or exited the property. So this LPR solution is compatible with the NVR and our PC software that you can download in Mac and Windows. It's the EVMS software that we have on our page. On the NVR, you can establish the license plate detection area. So that's basically the area of which the license plate will be captured and given you a result on the NVR. You can set entry and exit directions, and you can configure whitelist and blacklist. So the allow list and the blacklist and the stranger and the visitor list, you can configure all that on the NVR and the area of which the LPR will be detecting. What you can do on the PC software is you can view the LPR. You can view the entry and exit time conditions. You can add user vehicle information to the whitelist. So you can add people if you have someone new coming into the community or coming into the office and they're not registered with the system yet, you can add them. And you can also check information of passing vehicles as well. The software also allows you to view past smart events. So as for the installation side of this, the requirements is no obstructions on the license plate, so you can see the license plate clear. Lens with the automatic iris mode suitable for a wide range of lighting changes, such as the direct sunlight on the license plate. Focus clearly and select the appropriate focal distance segment according to the height of the camera. And the horizontal tilt of the license plate is in a range of between -5 degrees to 5 degrees. So the percentage of license plates, this is the width of the license plate ranges. It's between 6% to 50%. Later on, I will show you what that means exactly. So entrance control, this is the important part. The height and the recognition distance of the LPR camera. So the height, you want it to be from 1.3 to 1.5, maybe 1.8. 1.8 is pushing a little bit. But you basically want it to be at a height where it can read the license plate itself with around a 15-degree angle and a recognition distance of around 3 meters. If you need a little more, you can use the zooming option. Oh, for traffic surveillance, it's a little different. It can be at a maximum of 6 meters, and it can recognize the vehicle speeds from 30 to 70 kilometers an hour. So for uh 70 kilometers an hour is basically around 44 miles per hour. And it has a recognition distance of from 15 to 30 meters. Just a little side note, this isn't applicable for highways. Of course, if the recognizable vehicle speed is 70 kilometers an hour, which relates to 45 miles per hour, a typical highway, 45 would be the minimum speed. So people would be going 60, 70, even sometimes 80. Here in Florida, at least, that's how people drive down here. So someone going 80 miles an hour, that this license plate camera isn't going to capture it. And it can also be used to cover two lanes, not just one, as shown in the image below. So as for the detection, the key points that can affect the license plate capture is the definition, the size, so it has to be recognizable by the human eye, the duration, the amount of time that the license plate appears on the screen, and of course the area. So here you can see a couple images of when the camera would detect the license plate. This is the vehicle database. I will show you the vehicle database once we enter the camera. And these are the product features of our two cameras that we currently have. So for the image is a compression of H.265 plus, 4 megapixels at 30 frames. It has a reset button on the interface. It has a micro SD slot of up to 256 gigabytes. The PoE is 802.3 AF, and it can work in degrees of up to in temperatures of down to minus 30 degrees Celsius. So the motorized lens, like I said, we have two different models. We have the XB LPRC Gen 3 and the other one, which is the XB LPRC Gen 3 slash 0832. Each of these have one audio channel, input and output. Each of these have two alarm channels for input and output. They're dry contact, and they're both outdoor, of course. But the difference is the XB LPR Gen 3 is a 2.8 to 12 millimeters, And the one that finishes in 0832 is the one that can do from 8 millimeters to 33 millimeters for zoom for the motorized lens. All of these products are NDAA compliant. It's not just the LPR. Everything in the E series line, whether it's cameras, NVRs, or intercom systems, they are all NDAA compliant. And they are all with a 5-year warranty. Everything are on the E series line is 5-year warranty. IP cameras, the turbo cameras, DVRs, NVRs, doorbells, and our future products as well with the E series. They're all going to be 5-year warranty. So now we're going to do the installation setup. I'm going to switch my screens here. Okay, so now you can see my entire screen. Victor, can you confirm with me real quick that you can see my screen?
We only see the Zoom screen.
You can see the IP tool?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so right now this is our IP tool for the E-Series line. To get to the IP tool, you can go to our website, epcom.net. You can go to right here on the search bar, you would just look up EVMS. And on the second one, it should be a black background with the E logo. You click on that. And in the downloads, you'll see everything here is from the E-Series line. So you see the EVMS user manual, which is our PC software. You see the IP tool for Macs and the IP tool for Windows. This is the one that you want to have for Windows. There's 3.0.2. These are the technical documents for the NVR and our video storage tool. Everything that you need for E-Series is here. So right now we're going to be using the IP tool to scan the IP of our LPR, which is right here. Going to double click that and we're going to enter our LPR camera. So this is how it's going. It's on substream right now, so it's going to look a little choppy currently. But we are here for the configurations, correct? So on the configuration side, we're going to go to config, we're going to go to events, and then license plate detection. These are some of the configurations that you will find under the license plate detection configuration. So here you're just going to click event. And if you have an SD card, what you can do is when they capture the license plate, it's going to save an original picture to the SD card. With the license plate detection area, you're going to choose what country it is, whether it's from Asia, Europe, North America, South America, Africa, or the Oceanic region. And you're just going to choose if you're in North America, whether it's Canada, USA, or other. Alarm holding time, this is the alarm input or output that you're going to select. You can select whether it's going to be from 1 to 2 minutes. You can record from the SD card, the trigger an email. So whenever the license plate captures something, you put the email here and you attach the picture and it'll show you the image from the LPR. So comparison and linkage. These are the amount of fault characters that are available on the plate. So it's from 1 to 2, and the LPR camera will try to finish the plate itself. So the plates that are non-recognizable, the ones that are modified, that people like to go and modify their plates or have like a very, very dark background or let's just have a modified plate. This LPR camera will try to We'll try to fix the fault characters in that plate. As for the area, this is the area, this is the minimum. So the minimum is right here, this in the middle. So this has to be the size of the license plate camera, the license plate. So everything in this square will be the recognition distance. So this can go up to 1 to 50, and that's how 50 looks. I don't really just put it to 30. And then the minimum, you can put it to 3%. I like to put it to 5. So for blocked area, this is an area where you won't have any detection. So you can have an outline and it won't recognize anything that's in that area. This is the schedule. So if you want it to work at a certain day, you can go from put manual input and you can put here go to erase, and then everything that is in the green is what it'll record. So as for the vehicle database, this is where you will be adding your users. This will be where you are adding your allow list and block lists. So for example, we're going to go to add. I'm going to put a license plate. You can put whatever license plate. The start time, which is today. The owner, if you want to put the owner's name. Parking card number. This is for places that have a lot of visitors, so they give you a card. And then with that card is when they pay. So it's just for recognizing purposes. The list type, whether it's a allow list, block list, or temporary vehicle. If it's temporary, right here on the date where it says end time, you can enter an existing date, whether it's going to be a month from now, you select it, you go okay. Or if it's an allow list and you know the person's going to be there forever, like if he's the boss or something, you just go valid forever. And it'll give you a time from like 12 years from now. A phone number if you have the phone number and a license plate type. And then you save. Let's just go through this real quick. I'm just putting a random numbers. We go save. And there we go. Right here, you already have someone here on the allow list with the license plate, and it'll tell you exactly. So you can also export this data and import it. So here on the task list, it'll tell you, like here's a example of what it would look like. So here the license and then the owner, phone number if you have, and you fill this out if you want, if you have a bulk import, and you go here, you choose the file and you upload it and it would show up here. So another important part of the installation is the HLC, which is the highlight compensation. If you're going to put this outside and it has a lot of sunlight or it has a lot of glare, if you have the white light camera, the one with the LPR with color, and it's glaring the license plate, you can activate HLC and it'll compensate for the glare on the LPR. Or if you want, you can just turn it off. You can go white light mode and you just click off and it'll turn off. Those are just some of the recommended settings for you to get your LPR system going. I would like to thank you all for coming to another one of these webinars. Um, like I said before, if you guys have any questions about any projects that you have, this is my email. If you have any questions on the LPR, if you're stuck setting it up, if you have a project or anything, you can email me and I will help you out as much as I can. But thank you once again for coming to another webinar, and I hope you have a good day.